And we're back. Going back to the garden. And I do want to point out something. You may notice there's some icons on the map. Well, cross icons, if I remember right, means they're very important items, specifically relics or weapons. We'll get into what relics are for non-Castlevania fans in a bit. When we actually get one, I should say. And the square one happens to be that corrupted question mark block, so we always know where one is for when we can actually open them. And typically those corrupted blocks have good stuff in them. So it's a bit mean to tease us with good stuff. Anyways, here is our next thing. Our first magic weapon. Our first actual weapon. And I should go ahead and explain the two orbs on the side of the weapon there. The more you kill enemies with it, the more you fill up that little gauge there, those numbers, those orbs. Those orbs represent how many times the weapon can level up and increase its effectiveness. Some weapons are better than others, but most of them are pretty different from each other aside from flower weapons, where they're all basically the same, just different elements. So yeah. And as the block is explaining, what I just explained, magic also regenerates on its own, but you can restore it with other things. And now that we have a weapon to defend ourselves, it's time for a air quotations boss, because this is just really an enemy gauntlet. Really, the only thing in here that you should worry about is the Spinies, since they can still take a hit. Otherwise, your green shell should basically clear out everything else, and then you can just focus on dealing with the Spinies with your fire flowers. Unfortunately, I can't spin jump off of Spinies, since this isn't Mario World, but hey. And also, unfortunately, even though this is kinda technically a boss fight, we don't get anything special for beating it. Just survival. So no HP max-ups for us. But now that we have a weapon, our next destination happens to be, well, an area that I'm somewhat not looking forward to. But hey, it's a better area than what comes after it. The foreshadowing really hurts me as well, don't worry. So I guess we'll take the long way around since it'll allow me for farming peeps and red Koopas on my way back. Unfortunately, we're not lucky enough to get anything, even though we raised our luck a bit. I know it wasn't much, but we had no luck to begin with, so this has to be better. Also, be ready to see me use my magic way too often on accident, since there is a bound button for running, but there's also a bound button if you just hold down your magic button, magic attack button, you also start running, which I find more comfortable with how I bound my keys. I could rebind the run button, but I don't really feel like it. And again, as I've said numerous times, I do plan on trying to get every enemy's item drop to show them off. So, anything I can't get from the peeps, I might make dedicated miniature farming videos just for the enemy. They'll be boring to watch, but hey, it's better than me cutting out and then forgetting to hit record the moment they drop the item. Like I did with the green Koopa Troopa. I'm still surprised that we haven't at least got the shell from the red Koopa Troopa yet. If I remember right, their shell defies gravity and goes in a straight line unless I'm thinking of a different shell upgrade. Meanwhile, the yellow Koopa Troopa shell weapon is arguably the best in my opinion, just because of how it acts. Oh. Okay, never mind, my mistake. I'm just an idiot. The red Koopas don't actually have a drop, but the yellow ones definitely do. I'm sorry about that. Which I am making it my mission to get the yellow paratroopas item before we migrate into the fourth area of the castle, because in my opinion it's a necessity. Anyways, here we have Buzzy Beetles. We're not really supposed to be meeting them yet. To be honest, I'm only in here because I wanted to kill that yellow Koopa and I wanted to get a couple stars and money. But hey. And piranha plants, which will not dare mess with yet, since we're not supposed to see them yet either. Long story short, going down that hallway is not good if you plan on living. Not that you can do much down there. So, if you did try and come to the waterway first, you can't because ice. So, the fire flower does have a little bit of use, and let me just say, our new enemy, Skeeters, here, when I first played this, they were essentially the 3D Skeeter Galaxy model that was just badly cut out from a Super Mario Galaxy 2 screenshot. It looked terrible, so I am so relieved that they finally have an actual sprite. That being said, they don't drop anything. Oh, I thought we seen Buzzy Beetles later. Okay, never mind, we were supposed to be seeing them now. My mistake. False alarm, people. Unfortunately, the Hucket Crabs here were not spared the same fate as the Skeeters, as they still are using their new Super Mario Bros. Cutout model. But hey, I guess it looks a lot better than how the Skeeters used to look. Likewise, both the Skeeter and the Hucket Crab drop nothing of interest. So really, the only thing we want to focus on farming down here is yellow Koopas that we might see. Also, we have one of my least favorite songs in the Castlevania series playing right now. I mean, it's okay, but it's definitely not the best. And our Fire Flower leveled up. New enemy, cheeps. They are just cheeps. There's nothing really special about them. Aside from their name of being cheap takes on a whole lot of new meanings in this game, considering the low amount of invincibility frames issue. But the cheeps aren't the problem. Here is the real problem. These are the spiny cheeps. And as you can see there, that's just ridiculous and, to be honest, rather stupid. I know that was partly my fault, but at the same time, the invincibility frames are just a problem. But yeah, this is arguably one of the hardest parts of the sewers, in my opinion, these first few rooms. Trick the Buzzy Beetle. I don't think Buzzy Beetles drop anything. I could be wrong. I was wrong about the red Koopa Troopas, even though I've completed this game 100%. Unfortunately, we might be seeing